For any manager or professional with aspirations of climbing the corporate ladder, mastering time management is not just a necessity, but a gateway to personal growth and career advancement. Are you really busy? Are you under a lot of stress and pressure that makes you procrastinate? Do you have overwhelming work that you can't get done promptly? For the most part, the answer will be yes if you're average. This management video, which provides practical tips and strategies for effective time management, might enhance your understanding of this essential component of any successful management plan. Time is a unique and invaluable resource that you must not waste. Consider these practical recommendations to maximize your time. Jot down your short-term and long-term goals and revisit them often. Learn what to expect on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Secondly, make a ranked list of all your goals. The importance of each goal is different. Because time is valuable, you must set priorities for your goals. Make a list of everything you need to do to meet your goals. What steps can you take to accomplish your goals? What must be done? Fourth, arrange these tasks and responsibilities according to an A, B, or C classification. Essential and urgent are the words. If A is important and B is urgent, then A cannot be both. The C's are the dull, insignificant, and unimportant yet needed chores. Before making a schedule, list all your responsibilities and tasks. Every day, create a plan. Every day, whether you do it first thing in the morning or just before you go to bed, jot down your top 5 priorities. This will help you make the most of your time. Afterward, arrange the things on the list in order of importance and urgency. Sixth, regularly strive to complete various tasks from categories A, B, and C. On top of that, to avoid cramming all of your taxing activities, such as high-priority work tasks or complex projects, into one sitting, it's ideal to divide them out throughout the day. Be honest about how much you can do in a specific time frame. Keep in mind that your day-to-day or weekly priorities are subject to change. The significance or urgency of a work could shift in light of new facts. You should reevaluate your priorities and react based on fresh knowledge. Number 8 is your aim, completing your task as efficiently and effectively as possible. This isn't about honing your skills in list making. Try different things until you find what works.
Soft skills transform people. How do we go about reflecting beyond the obvious and mastering the soft skills? The need to understand before we can predict and influence behavior is crucial in any management setting. Let's consider the case of marketing MP3 technology. Creative Technologies advertised their product as a 5 GB MP3 player, which is quite straightforward. But then, look at Apple's approach. They marketed their product by saying, 1,000 songs in your pocket. It's not just about what you're offering, it's about how you make people feel, how you internalize, appreciate, understand, and truly know your audience. Now let's delve into management strategies. Consider myopic management versus enlightened management. Myopic management focuses on making money for investors, often squeezing all other stakeholders to the extent possible to generate revenue, with the primary goal to maximize ROI for investors. But what are the consequences of this single-loop learning? It's a narrow focus that might bring immediate profits but ignores long-term sustainability and stakeholder relationships.
The cargo cult fallacy illustrates a profound misunderstanding of cause and effect. During World War II, in the Pacific South Seas, the islanders saw airplanes arrive with lots of good materials, and they wanted the same thing to happen again. So they arranged to make things like runways, put fires along the sides of the runways, and even made a wooden hut for a man to sit in, with 2 wooden pieces on his head to mimic headphones and bars of bamboo sticking out like antennas. He was the controller, and they waited for the airplanes to land. They're doing everything right, the form is perfect, it looks exactly the way it looked before, but it doesn't work. No airplanes land. This is because, even though they follow all the apparent precepts and forms, they're missing something essential. This same fallacy can be seen in modern business practices. The native cultists thought that the foreigners had some special connection to the gods, who were the only beings powerful enough to produce such rituals. Similarly, those who fall prey to the cargo cult mindset in business do so because they saw others doing it, so they assumed it was effective and good. But without understanding the underlying principles and contexts, merely copying forms and processes won't lead to success.
The underlying dynamics. Why do organizations exist and prosper? Why do people work in organizations? Are we channeling people's energy and enthusiasm constructively towards handling organizational interdependence? Or is it being dissipated in all sorts of dysfunctional pursuits? The underlying dynamics. What of the future? One could reasonably expect the chairman of AT&T to know what his corporation will be 10 years from now. He doesn't. One could within reason expect him to predict how technology will transform his business a decade hence. He can't. He should know who his major competitors will be. Stumped again? But here is what he does know. Something startling, intriguing, and profound is afoot. What is the greatest strength of administrators as well as their biggest weakness? Thinking rationally.
Trained incapacity refers to that state of affairs in which one's abilities function as blind spots. User-unfriendly designs, financial analysts, bureaucrats. Training a person to do a job in one way simultaneously trains them not to do the job any other way. Training a person for one set of conditions becomes dysfunctional when these conditions change. Trained incapacity. Ultimate project management team for delivering Project Birth 1, project manager, is a person who thinks 9 women can deliver a baby in 1 month. 2, on-site coordinator, is one who thinks a single woman can deliver 9 babies in 1 month. 3, resource optimization team, thinks they don't need a man or woman. They'll produce a child from scratch. Acquiring knowledge about leadership. Strong leaders care for their employees' long-term professional development and inspire them to deliver their best. The aim should not be nice or understanding, but to use individual incentives, such as recognition, career advancement opportunities, or personal development plans, to accomplish a corporate purpose. Aspiring leadership analysts often study charismatic, authoritative, showy, and strategically astute leaders. But none of these qualities constitute authentic leadership. The human and social basis of leadership is understanding one's workers and how their individual goals connect to the group's overarching aim. Leadership, as Prentice points out, is the crucial process of directing a group of individuals toward achieving a common goal, underscoring the significance of their role in collective success. Each individual is unique and multifaceted, and leaders must recognize this diversity. Ambition, patriotism, love for what is good and beautiful, boredom, and self-doubt are just a few of the myriad desires and emotions that influence individuals, in addition to the more conventional incentives and punishments. Solving complex mathematical problems might exhilarate some individuals. Still, they require more time to grasp their potential application in a business context. Another employee might feel disheartened because his efforts to foster a warm and affectionate relationship with his boss go unnoticed or unrewarded. According to Prentice, leaders can deepen employees' interest in their work by responding to their individual inclinations. Prentice underscores the significance of supervisors having small enough spheres of influence to enable them to build personal relationships with their subordinates, thereby fostering a sense of connection and empathy. According to Prentice, a more democratic form of leadership is necessary to foster development and education without enabling anarchy to take over. This concept and his rejection of the assumption that leadership is about physical strength or extraordinary analytical talents alter our view of leadership and foreshadow the revolutionary work of modern authors like Abraham Zalesnik and Daniel Goleman. Questions and perplexities. It is easy to condense the acts of great leaders into a few phrases, but it's much more difficult to disentangle the elements affecting their performance. For employees to feel that their primary interest or incentive is being satisfied in the group company's operations, it is standard practice to clearly define their job description. One example of a crude leadership style is the obsession with monetary gain or the elimination of worries about various forms of insecurity as the only way to achieve happiness. Workers put in their utmost effort to complete tasks on time because they fear for their employment if they don't. These types of incentives do their job within acceptable limits, as we can all agree. Theoretically, they unite employees' goals with those of their companies or other organizations. But everyone can see the flaws in such simplistic approaches. Unlike machines, people do not possess a centralized set of controls. Because their complex reactions to love, status, autonomy, accomplishment, and fellowship are ignored at work, at best, they operate like mindless machines that contribute a fraction of their potential to the task at hand. At worst, they behave like rebellious slaves who damage the very things they are supposed to be helping out with. Considerations of management, structure, and leadership? You have a big field here, a plethora of information, both factual and conceptual, all connected to the previous points. That is why leadership-related matters must be seriously considered. Giving direction to these matters is crucial, ensuring they do not become overly broad, vague, or intimidating. We can all agree that leadership is essential. So what exactly is leadership? It may be critical to rethink traditional management and organizational methods. There is often a clear separation between leadership and management. Directing the executive, withholding or influencing power. Knowing what's ahead requires a leader to look within at people, their thoughts, emotions, importance, self-identity issues, and sometimes even their religious beliefs. The key is to control how we see the world. This behavior differs from management, which primarily focuses on actions and results. Consequently, the most crucial parts of management are organizing, planning, monitoring, and regulating. Leadership, in contrast, is an independent notion. When you are powerful, which might mean using your authority, you look people in the eyes. If you aspire to be like Steve Jobs, feel free to gaze intently at others. As I follow Steve Jobs' example, I will not subject you to that. After initially losing control, they were able to regain control and discipline. They became competent thanks to Steve's keen eye for people. So that's one way we exercise our authority. For instance, we may use manipulation, humiliation, fear, bullying, threats, and punishments to achieve the desired results. Hence, it is no surprise that this is vital. In some instances, within corporations, there are occasions when the power you have becomes apparent. There are 3 ways to work vertically within a corporation. You can work tirelessly to persuade others. Leadership captivates followers. Although it may be easy to imagine in principle, implementing it in practice might be a formidable challenge. For this reason, we endeavored to provide substantial support. We need to lay the groundwork for effective leadership to be of any further use regarding the several Ps. This is a set of management-related ideas, also known as the 5 Ps framework. Sarcasm is something I really enjoy. This could pique your interest. I am not being polite because of this. It would be beneficial to add some irony. Pretentiousness is a significant problem in leadership. Additionally, if we can approach this with a touch of irony, and irony on one's own part if we are serious about developing better leaders, improvement, or anything along those lines, then I believe it's pretty useful because it's a problem with your belief in heroic, idealistic models of leadership before you encounter any issues. Stuff happens, the thinkers would say. In such a scenario, the leader becomes a prophet. Applying your charisma is the next stage. You can see well. To construct an ideal future, you consult with a predictor. In the perfect scenario, uncommon acts, symbolic emotions, and gestures that evoke strong feelings captivate you as you gaze upward. You can't help but be captivated as you look up. You are irresistibly attractive. To communicate effectively, one must employ storytelling, language, and images. Jobs was one person who successfully accomplished this. He persuaded John Scully to join after finishing his term as vice president of Pepsi. He once talked with Scully about Apple, a much smaller company. Do you plan to keep selling sweetened water as plain water indefinitely? Why don't you come along with me if you're serious about making a change? Scully said, wow, suggesting it made an impact. Another version states that the pastor is the head of the group. Also, it's not always the case that a pastor has a vision. If we did, it would almost border on sacrilegiousness. It is the pastor's strong suit to deal with moral issues and speak about them, to bring attention to the good. Goodness refers to adhering to the correct guidelines, standards, or morality. Kindness and performing good deeds are therefore crucial. For example, when dealing with virtue, you deal with principles. You almost always positively present all values. As a result, principles and values such as being truthful, kind, and leading from a place of servanthood are essential. As a moral shepherd, a leader encourages their people to do the right thing. All of you working, whether in politics, healthcare, or NGOs, are doing something admirable. If you're interested in commerce and business, working with a management team that prioritizes standards and ideals is absolutely doable. Everyone needs to maintain good ideals. It is a true testament to the hard work you put in to make it happen and your ability to replicate it. A leader's actions should reflect these ideals. They should be trustworthy, honest, and genuine. This pastoral leadership style is characterized by an atmosphere of appreciation and loyalty. The third variant takes the form of a shrink or an order. You, as a psychotherapist, need to win this case. After that, feelings and dealing with people's emotions, such as anxiety, stress, and instability, take center stage. Here we go, talk, then more talk, sometimes even pausing to listen. No other kind of leader is ever stationary. Moreover, they always occupy the exact center. Therefore, your message should receive attention. If you profess to be a prophet, make your presentation. In this world, you are unique. Furthermore, your uniqueness is significantly impacting the lives of others. Ideally, they will also grasp the broader view. Being a psychotherapist could help you relax a little. You stay out of harm's way. Your focus is sharper. You have a keen understanding of the difficulties and mental health issues that other people are dealing with. After that, they have specific needs. So, you move forward, granted not on a large scale, based on people's needs, mentorship, and treatment endeavors. How many of us have an hour every week to do nothing except sit on a couch and listen to our followers? You continue to strive to be highly therapeutic when you deliberate about your plan. Emotional intelligence is really essential in this situation. Leaders who also host social events employ a similar strategy. As a host, the leader has genuine feelings for his visitors, feeling a perfect atmosphere. Here, nobody's sentiments or desires matter. It's more about the general atmosphere in the workplace. Therefore, everyone must contribute. It is justifiable to include them. You should go see them. As you go about your day, try to lift someone's spirits. When individuals are outside, they shouldn't feel anything. They should have a sense of community and belonging during the party. Additionally, many people engage in similar activities during their working hours. There is a strong sense of community and belonging among all employees. Therefore, employees often participate in social events with their loved ones, possibly to maintain this positive atmosphere. Furthermore, this is an area where several firms really shine, underscoring this point with great force. Clients are more likely to have a good impression of your business if they are in a pleasant work environment. After that, they will be keen to keep in touch and work with you. One option is to set a price for your services. In the 6th iteration, the leader takes on the role of an educator. Additionally, as a teacher, your responsibility is to promote individual development. Difficulties associated with knowledge and education. You try to shed light on the relevance and function of each and every object. In your opinion, how does your job compare to others? How do you understand relationships? How can we learn to think critically and use our skills more effectively? About everything here. Hence, a leader who doubles as a teacher must engage in academic pursuits, undergo ongoing training, and practice meaningful management. Naturally, we create some of our content for training and conferences, advocating for materials for reading, etc. However,